My fellow constituents, the issue of plastic waste is an impending threat that needs our attention right away. Currently, our oceans and overseas lands are being treated as a never-ending wasteland for plastic waste to be thrown away. However, this notion is extremely harmful for the overall condition of the oceans, marine life, human health, and pollution levels. Currently, less than 15% of California's single-use plastics are recycled. I understand the immediate draw to plastic. It is convenient and cheap for consumption, yet its lasting implications seemingly never go away. The U.S. has been sending away our waste to countries overseas in Asia to deal with. This out-of-sight, out-of-mind mentality is the reason the U.S. has not taken immediate action against plastics. China has recently stated it will no longer take our trash. Now that our major trash destination has closed its ports, we have no choice but to deal with our own mounting plastic dilemma. It is more important than ever to create comprehensive legislation regarding plastic waste. The time is now for California to stop avoiding the consequences of single-use plastics and take responsibility for our own environmental impact. I urge you to support my bill, SB-54. The bill creates the California Circular Economy and Plastic Pollution Reduction Act. This law would require manufacturers of any form of disposable plastic to achieve 20% recycling rate by 2024 and increase to 75% reduction rate by 2030. This reduction goals are aimed at tackling the huge issues of plastic packaging waste. The gradual increase in accountability for manufacturers to reduce their ecological impact allows them time to invest in equipment, facilities, and increase their recycling rates by the 2030 deadline. Our goal is for companies to build environmentally friendly infrastructure and keep business within California. If our recycling standards are not met, manufacturers would not be allowed to sell their products within the state. SB-54 is a monumentous step in declaring the state's non-tolerant stance on plastic waste. I'm happy to announce that SB-54 has an accompanying bill in the Assembly. My colleague Lorena Gonzalez has partnered with us on the fight against plastics in her bill, AB 1080. Together, both bills create the California Circular Economy and Plastic Pollution Reduction Act, brought about in both houses. Tackling the issues presented by single-use plastics won't be an easy task. However, supporting our joint legislation is a huge leap in cutting all single-use plastic waste in our great state by 75% in the next decade. We must stop covering our planet Earth with disregarded plastic trash by the end of the century. There is not one district within California that isn't ridden by the effects of plastic garbage on highways, increasing plastic cups for morning coffee, and piling single-use plastic trash. This fight affects all people, regardless of party affiliation, since we all share one planet. It is up to California to lead by example, to be the forefront of environmental legislation. I urge you all to support SB-54 and AB 1080 in looking towards a cleaner, greener, and more ecologically conscious future. Our efforts not only affect the well-being of humans and wildlife of our generation, but the overall health of the planet for generations to come. SB-54 and AB 1080 are the legislative push we need to force government action around plastic waste.